Alright, so we are here. Attempt number 2. Coca-Cola 600. Why do I say attempt number 2? Because it is a second attempt. We wrecked like maybe 4 laps in. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. And we're just going to get on with this. It's going to be a long race. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the long-awaited ride to the finish. And hopefully we have no issues this time. Luckily, like I said, it was only on lap 5. So I just decided I'd restart the race from scratch. We'll try it again. We're starting at the rear of the field as I was going to originally in 39th. So here we go. Green flag in the air. Hopefully the steering wheel does not disconnect again. I don't know how that happened the first time. We had an issue with that at another race earlier this year. I want to say Auto Club Speedway. I could be wrong on that, but that one disconnected with like 30 laps left. So yeah, I don't know. That's weird. We'll hope for the best here. But nevertheless, here we go. Opening lap of the round is going to lead from the pole. Lap 1 of 400. Just about a mile and a half into this race already as well. Stuck on the inside of the racetrack right now. The top is my more preferred line around Charlotte Motor Speedway. But the thing is here is that, oh boy, man, that got tight there. Taking it 3 wide for a moment. Going to clear Paul Menard off at turn 4 now. So 2 laps in the books. We're up to 22nd. This is a very similar start to how I had it go. Only Jimmy Johnson got around me the next lap. I don't think that's going to happen here. So we're going to stick this car on the bottom for the beginning of this race. Not going to worry about running the top until late when I have to, but you can almost bet later in the stage if we have to do it, or later in the race that we are going to run the top side of the racetrack, because that is my more preferred line. Might test it at times throughout the course of the race, but it would just be a test trial to make sure I could run up there. But that is my more preferred line. But with this being a longer race, longest of the season to be exact, it's going to be a little different. Oh, a little contact with Ryan Preece. We're all right, though. Oh, can't get off of him there for a second through turns 3 and 4. Very minimal contact at best, though. We're 4 laps in the books. We're already up to 19th. And Joey Logano has led every lap so far. Now, if Kyle Busch, takes the lead before we get back to the start-finish line, then this will be almost exactly how the first attempt went. Should be pretty cool. We are up to 17th, though. I think we were only like 21st at this point last time. So we are gaining quite a bit of ground here at the start of the race. We'll be halfway through the regular season after this one. Obviously, as usual, if we get a new winner, we will be having another playoff spot clinched. Now, Kyle Busch does take the lead here, so that's good to see. Down to the inside of Alex Bowman for 14th here. We got Ryan Newman right behind us as well as he's trying to get to the inside to pass Bubba Wallace for position. We're going to clear Bowman before we even get into turn number 3, so that was a really, really nice pass. And we're doing, I think, a pretty good job of saving our tires here. Idea is we want to cut the stage in half, pit right around 50 laps to go if at all possible. We can run pretty much about 60 laps on a full tank of fuel. But if we can cut the stage in half, that'll be perfect. Tire wear usually doesn't come into a factor here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, at least not yet. Track surface isn't quite old enough. But that's why it's key to take care of our tires. Now we could also take care of them more by running the higher line, so I guess in that circumstance, if we have to save our tires, we'll probably do that as well. Look at that 10 of Almirola. Squeeze on by. Around the outside as we couldn't complete the pass that time. Got pretty loose through turns 1 and 2. Now he'll go to the bottom. We'll go to the top side trying to get around him. So that's going to give us some speed here down the front stretch now. can't quite pull up in front of us. So we hold our line off the exit of the corner. Trying to overdrive the car in the corners. We are trying to gain spots as quickly as possible, of course, but up to 11th place. The idea, get to the lead before we have to make green flag pit stops. That's pretty much going to be our first goal. Hopefully we don't have a lot of cautions in this race, with it being the longest race of the season, not try to prolong it any more than what we already have to. Very, very good chance this race is going to go over 3 hours, which would easily make it the longest race of the season in elapsed time. Longest race before that was 2 hours and 46 minutes on the second race of the year at Atlanta, and that was a 500-mile race. So this is an extra 100 miles. We'll see what this is going to bring. Got an extra stage break coming already too, that could slow things down a little bit. Nice move to get by both Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott, but now Reddick gets back to the inside of the racetrack. Can't clear us though with the crossover move, and Elliott's kind of trapped behind both of us. So now we're on the outside going into turns 3 and 4, driving it in fairly deep, and we're going to clear Reddick for 8th off of turn number 4. See, our car seems to be a little bit more stable when we run the top side of the track compared to the bottom as well. But when you run the bottom of the racetrack, you are burning more tires, whether you like it or not. Michael McDowell having a solid run at the beginning of this race. He's already in the 7th position. Maybe he could pull off an upset win. We've had a couple upset winners here before. Austin Dillon's won this race. That was his first career win in the Coca-Cola 600 on fuel mileage. Guys like Jamie McMurray won their first career race here as well in the Coke 600. Of course, Jimmy Johnson, one of the more dominant drivers here in the track's history, if not the most dominant driver in this track's history. Those are some of the guys that are in the field, of course, for this race. Martin Truex Jr. going to make the move off of turn 4. He's going to take the lead away from Kyle Busch now. And we're going to try to get to the inside of Denny Hamlin going into turn 1. Battle for 6th, but not much of a battle, as we're going to easily kind of slide up in front of him. And we're going to clear Denny Hamlin up off of turn number 2. We're moving through this field pretty quickly here. Only about 15 laps into this race, of course, with the 4 stages, the race starting in the daytime, it will finish in the nighttime. That might be the case for me as well. Now, it'll probably still be sunlight out on the East Coast by the end of this race. I think the sunset time here, my house, is like just after 8 o'clock, so I don't see the race going that long. Leader's not too far away from lap traffic here. Again, Truex leads, Kyle Busch in 2nd. And again, both Penske cars inside the top 5. You got Logano in 4th. Brad Keselowski's just moved to 3rd. So we get to the outside of Kurt Busch through 3 and 4. Squeezing up the middle. A little contact with Kurt Busch. We're going to get on by. Now to the inside of Keselowski as well. That'll move us up to 3rd. Coming off of turn 2, we'll clear him. Kurt Busch passing Joey Logano as well. And Busch and Keselowski almost got into each other off of turn 2 there. Right behind us as they now battle it out for 4th. So we try to close in on the race leaders here of Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch. Busch caught in the lap traffic as we go to the outside now. Through turns 1 and 2, got really close to the wall, going to carry a ton of speed down the backstretch. Ran a little bit higher than Truex. And now to the bottom for the race lead. Truex caught behind his younger brother going into turn 3. Going to use him as a pick. And just like that, Ryan Blaney leads his first lap of the Coca-Cola 600 on lap 18 as we hit lap 19 at the stripe. So it didn't take long to go from the rear of the field to the front. It seems like about 10-15 laps into a run, our car definitely becomes a lot quicker than everybody else. But we steadily moved forward, and we never got passed once by anybody. We almost got crossed over by Tyler Reddick, but that was really the only time I can recall it ever coming close to even losing a spot. Got through the field pretty quick despite kind of taking our time and taking it easy around the bottom of the racetrack. Just wait for later in the race when we run the top more often. I think we only field. So if you're hearing noises throughout the course of the broadcast today, that is probably because of the wind outside my house right now. It's pretty gusty. We got about 40-mile-an-hour gusts today. And it's like mid-40s, so for April, it's pretty cold. That's like our, fall weather. About November weather for us here, so that would be the random noises that you guys are probably going to hear throughout the course. The lead lap in this one. I feel like if I really wanted to burn the tires up, I could run close to full throttle all the way around the corners. Like, I'm barely letting off of the gas as it is, but I feel like if I turn the wheel a little bit more and stayed in the gas, I can hold it full throttle and run really, really, really fast lap times. But we got 78 laps left here in the first stage. No need to do that. But so far we are pacing pretty good to reach the halfway point. I'm obviously going to run as long as I possibly can, as far as the fuel's going to let me run, but we are taking care of our tires pretty well at the start of this race. And we're still driving away. Looking like the start of the Kansas race. How stage 1 I pretty much dominated despite starting at the rear of the field. It's looking like that could be the case here today as well. Still, of course, have a lot of time though. Oh, that got tight there. 3 wide through the quad oval, but we stretched it on the outside of the racetrack. Kept the wheel straight as we possibly could. Ooh, oh boy, about drove it in a little too deep there, getting into turn 3. The lap car is getting in the way. They're side by side, and I thought about taking it 3 wide, then I thought better of it. So the lane kind of closed up. I mean, look at that. We barely made contact with any cars throughout the course of this race as well. Yeah, we were able to hold it full throttle through turns 3 and 4 there. I mean, we've just got a really fast car. We just got to take care of it throughout the course of the race, and we should be there at the end. The extra stage as well, we should have a good shot to try to make it all the way with a win in each stage. That would be an awesome points day. We can max out on 70 points today. 60 in all the other races. If you win both stages in the race, we have an extra stage here, so chance at 30 possible stage points and 3 playoff points plus a win. So you could actually get 8 playoff points today if we win all 3 stages and the race. We'll contact with Alex Bowman there for a second. Got a little tight through the front stretch. Didn't give us a ton of room, but we still got around him. And you can see right there, we still really haven't hit anything for the most part. Not too hard. We don't have a lot of damage, and we're still taking care of the tires pretty well. They're not even halfway worn out on the right side. Oh boy, little brush off the wall. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. Especially going through the AstroTurf like we did. Lost quite a bit of time there with our race lead. That could have been a lot worse. Try not to pay too much attention to how many laps are left in this race with it being as long as it is. Kind of have to treat it like a Bristol or Martinsville in the sense it's like, okay, you got 500 laps. You know, you got to worry about how many laps are left in a certain stage, I guess, in a sense as far as strategy and how that might play out, but you glance over like every single lap to see what lap you're on, you're gonna be in for a long race, especially as it's already pretty long itself. Oh, a little contact with Matt Tiff getting into turn 1, and around he goes. He was not able to make the save. Caution will fly for the first time in this race. Whoops. So caution's gonna fly for the first time today. We did not need to see that happen. Matt Tift went for a spin behind us. We'll have to repair that damage there. Eric Jones will get the free pass at 15th. He'll be back on the lead lap. Now we'll get to see what it'll be like to restart at the front of the field here. We cannot make it on field to the end of the stage from this point, so we still do all have to pit. But we do have just over 30 laps on our tires, so that's why you saw everybody hit pit road that time. Green flag about to drop once again here. We lost 2 spots on pit road. Martin Truex Jr. comes out as the race leader, and the green flag is back in the air. 66 to go. We're about 6 laps short on fuel to the end of the stage. And now we take it 3 wide to the bottom. Going into turns 1 and 2. We're going to clear both Truex and Kyle Busch for the race lead. And just like that, Ryan Blaney back out in front again here at Charlotte. Logano, our teammate, tried to follow us all the way through. And now they're 3 wide for second behind us as Denny Hamlin tries to go underneath Logano and Kyle Busch. Hamlin trying to make a run for the lead now as we regain the lead once again in this race. But here comes Denny as we drive it in deep into 1 and 2. Trying to block these guys off as much as we possibly can. Driving the corners in a little bit deeper, giving up a little bit of straightaway speed to try and keep these guys behind us, but that's not going to work very much longer, as just like that, Denny Hamlin is going to get us out in the field here. Track, that pushed us into the wall, and we've got quite a bit of rear bumper damage now. I think the 10 of Almirola got under him when he wasn't expecting it. When he came up the track, he clipped us. Now a little more contact with Logano, and seems like we make contact once in the middle of the corner. We just shove up the racetrack. Having a tough time trying to keep the car pinned down. So this is definitely a lot worse than what the start of the race was for us. We were just moving through from the rear of the field to the front. That restart did not go hand in hand for ourselves, and Denny Hamlin's leading the stage here. But again, we still have to pit before the end of the stage at some point in time. It's just a matter of when. It's made a little more contact there with Daniel Suarez, and now big push coming down the backstretch from Kyle Busch. Oh boy, about overdrove the corner though, and Busch just slamming into our door, not giving us a lot of room. And we were still out of shape off the exit of turn 4. And things are getting wild and crazy in the early going to the Coke 600 here. My goodness. Shoved by Byron in the middle of the corner. That gets us out of shape as well. Denny Hamlin just checking out on everybody right now for the race lead. Yeah, that rear bumper damage on our race car, though, is making it really, really loose. I do not like the handling in it whatsoever. It's amazing how great of a handling car we had in the first run, but once we accidentally got into the lap car of Matt Tift, and he lost control, bringing out the caution. Struggled on the restart. Now we've got a little damage on the rear bumper of our car that we'll have to take care of when we hit pit road this next time, whenever that might be. We're going to try to ride this out as long as we possibly can for right now. We'll just have to see how it's going to go, of course. Starting to close in on these guys ahead of us. There's about a group of 4 drivers trying to battle for the 6th and 7th position up ahead. And again, Michael McDowell's still in the top 10. Got to give him a shot out. We'll see if he's going to get faster and faster throughout the course of this race and maybe have a shot to pull off an upset. Daniel Suarez about came down and blocked us going into turns 3 and 4. We're still able to sneak to the inside and not only pass him, but Almirola as well off of turn number 4. I think Keselowski might be holding up Michael McDowell as well here. Didn't know what lane the 34 was going to pick, so I had to make a late move to the bottom. Now he gets blocked off. He's going to lose a ton of momentum now. We're going to catch him and the 2 of Keselowski going into turn 3. Can't quite clear the 2. At least not yet. We're side by side off the exit of 4. Here comes McDowell to help give us a push past our teammate to make the clean passes. So that'll move us up to 6th. Denny Hamlin's still pulling away from everybody right now. Jimmy Johnson's that second car you see up there in line, but he is 1 lap down in 16th. So with him being the first driver, 1 lap down for the moment. He's maybe trying to unlap himself as they had a 3-wide battle now for second between Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. is just behind all of them because Kurt Busch was in the mix up there as well. Logano now looking to the inside of the 18, can't get to him that time, but that 4-car battle for second, it's going to be a 5-car battle here shortly if they keep racing the way they are. Hamlin going to catch lap traffic here pretty soon as well as we take it 3 wide to the bottom now for 4th. Clearing both of them getting into turn 3 and clearing Logano off of 4 as well. 3 cars passed in 1 corner. That'll move us up to 3rd right behind the 18 of Kyle Busch. But we have a chance to get now into turns 1 and 2 as we look to the inside of the 18. Tried to crowd us just a little bit, but we're going to slide up in front of him. Oh, and he gives us a bump from behind. That'll loosen us up. Kyle Busch has raced us aggressively a couple times now in the beginning of this race. He tries to hold us back, and we try to keep this car pinned to the inside of him. Now we clear him up off of turn 4. He won't bump us that time. We'll hold on to the position. We're up to 2nd. So we're almost halfway through stage number 1. Blaney up to 2nd with Denny Hamlin again in the race lead. So Hamlin's now caught lap traffic here. We still have to pass Jimmy Johnson as well, but again, he is 1 lap down. But these guys towards the rear of the field now going multiple laps down. We have 50 laps to go in stage number 1. So we're halfway home through stage 1, 1/8 of the way through the race already. Just got to take it 1 stage at a time. Oh. Right in on the back of the 48 of Johnson. Could have tried to push him underneath the 40 of McMurray. It didn't work though because McMurray decided to block the 48. So now we're going to try to go to the outside here and get around him that way. Hanging it off of turn 2. Now diving to the inside, going into 3. Had that run down the backstretch. We're closing in on Denny Hamlin as the race leader is really getting caught up in the lap traffic right now. Oh, little contact there with the back of the 71. Splitting the lap traffic now, 3 wide for the lead. And we're going to clear Denny Hamlin off of turn number 2, looking to take our 3rd lead of the race early on here in this one. It'll be official at the start-finish line. And Ryan Blaney will take his 3rd lead of the afternoon. So we're coming off of 3 wins in a row. Can we make it 4 in the Coke 600 today? Again, we're off to a good start. Just a matter of how things might have to go from here on out. It's looking risky there for a little bit on the restart, but outside of that, we're taking good care of our car so far. Not our fault we got the rear bumper damage though. That came from Joey Logano earlier in this run, which ended up helping us kind of clip the wall, and that allowed us to have right side damage on the car as well. Just held it full throttle through turns 1 and 2. Ooh, little contact there with Corey LaJoie. We're all good though. We've opened up about a 4-second lead now on Denny Hamlin. Trying to see if we can hold it full throttle through 3 and 4. I was able to do it in 1 and 2 a couple laps ago, so yeah, if I have to, I can run full throttle all the way around this racetrack. When you obviously start to burn your tires up more and more, but everybody's going to have to pit at least once from here on out, so kind of a shortened ending to this final stage, and it being 66 laps from the time we went green. And we are basically just rolling out of the gas when we have to make passes around both lead lap cars and lap cars, as we did right there, passing 2 more right up the middle through turns 3 and 4, made it look easy. Caution. And that is going to be caution number 2 here in the early going of this race. Only 60 laps in. Denny Hamlin going to hit pit road. So is Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kevin Harvick, and Eric Jones, who are on the lead lap. Jimmy Johnson will also hit pit road. He will get his lap back with the free pass. We're going to hit pit road as well. We're going to pit from the lead. So we're giving up track position right now, but everybody's going to have to pit before the end of the stage anyway. So might as well pit under the caution now. That will have us make it to the end on fuel to this opening stage of the race by pitting right now. So again, second caution in the early going of the race here. The most cautions we've had in a race all year is 12. It happened once, and we've had 10 cautions 4 separate times already this season. So we've had races with quite a few cautions. This could definitely be one of them, with it being the longest race of the year. We've got 2 early on, first quarter of the race. The green flag's in the air, and here we go once again. Oh boy. Kind of washed up the racetrack here, trying to get up to speed. 3 wide up the middle. Contact now with the 2 of Keselowski. Got to be easy there with our teammate. Now going into 3. More contact. Very tight to be running the 3 wide up the middle here at Charlotte now, as we get to the back bumper. Suarez trying to push him off of 4, get him going here. So we can now move down to the inside and take it 3 wide to the bottom of the track. Dive bomb going into turn 1 now for second. McDowell going to push us. He's going to try to help us through it. As we clear him off of turn 2, now to the back bumper of the 18 of Busch for the lead going into turn 3. Well, 4 fresh Goodyears. That didn't take long at all. As we have taken the lead here in the Coca-Cola 600. It's during the daytime, during the first stage here. We're going to ride along with the in-car cam. So we'll alternate through the cameras for the first time here today. And we'll do it again later in the race when we turn into the nighttime as well. So it was a good thing we were able to repair that rear bumper damage there during the caution while we were on pit road. And we did win the race off of pit road out of everybody that had pit. So we restarted 7th with the top 6 guys staying out. Denny Hamlin up to second now. He was another one of the drivers that hit pit road. He was in second place. I'm sure he pitted when he saw that I was going to pit. I don't know why everybody didn't pit there, to be quite honest. I mean, we had about 30 laps on our tires like we did on the first run. Unless they're thinking they could save enough to make it to the end of the stage, but even with that caution, I think they're going to be 2 to 3 laps short still. You're going to need 1 more yellow if they're going to want to make it. And if we get that 1 more caution, they might just pit anyway for 4 fresh Goodyears to the end of the stage. So, yeah, I just don't know the strategy in that. So they're going to try to stay out, of course, as long as they can now. So they probably won't pit until less than 10 to go in the stage. In the wall off of turn 4. Pretty big bobble. Didn't hurt the car too much, at least for right now. But Denny Hamlin closes the gap quite a bit that last lap because of it. So he's now only about 7 car lengths behind us. He's coming on pretty quick, so we're about to have a battle for the lead here. Logano, one of the guys that pit as well, so is Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick. They're all into the top 5 now, but even the 3rd place car of Joey Logano is about 3.5 seconds off the lead. And off the wall again we go through turns 3 and 4. Hamlin closes the gap once more. That last lap now looks to the outside for the race lead. Big run coming. That slowed us all the way down the front stretch. And Denny Hamlin going to clear us up off of turn number 2 for the race lead. Not an official lead change until we get back to the line as we try to look back to his inside again. A little bit of a crossover move, driving it in deep. Into turns 3 and 4, trying to get it to stick. Another double crossover move now by Hamlin. as he takes the lead at the line again, and we'll see if we can maybe get him into turn 1, but I think we're too far behind him now. Yeah, drove it in a little deep, but not as deep as we did in turn 3. So, Denny Hamlin takes the lead here at Charlotte. It's his second lead of the race. We've already led 4 times in this opening stage. But even with the clean air, he's not getting away from us, so we might be able to challenge for the lead again here this next lap. Now looking to the outside. That's going to give us a ton of straightaway speed here down the back. Hamlin ran the bottom. Hamlin goes to the top now as well through 3 and 4, just like we did. Little bump. That kind of shot him out way ahead of us now. Oh, in the wall off of turn 2. Hey, we've got to stop doing that. We really got to take care of this car to the end of the stage here. We're overdriving and trying to catch Denny Hamlin once again. We're about to hit lap traffic anyway, so should probably just wait patiently until we get to the lap cars and hope they slow Hamlin up. We still got a fast enough car. We'll challenge for the stage win. We got 26 to go yet. To the outside of Hamlin. Coming off of turn number 4, 3 wide as we split the lap car there of Chris Buescher. We kept it off the wall. A really fast corner with Hamlin having to go to the bottom. As we take the race lead once again at the line, as now we wash up the track again. Wow. Almost got into the wall there. That was a close one. If you are just joining us, of course, as usual, we got a 3-strike rule. We already used one of the strikes early in the race. While we were leading, we took it too aggressively, trying to race with the lap traffic and put as many guys a lap down as we could, given the opportunity at hand, and we had got into the side of Matt Tiff. We ended up in the wall. Tiff went around sideways. We have one driver out of the race through the first 2 cautions, and now we're in the wall again off of turn 4. We really got to start taking it easy here. We'll make it to the end of the stage, but here comes Hamlin again, fighting to the outside with our mistake. Through turns 1 and 2, we are still side by side. Castle gets in the way. He has to get out of the gas on the exit of turn 2, so we're going to hold on to the lead once again. We really have to dial it down here. Boyer in 19th. Really like that Pete Antifreeze paint scheme he's got. Kind of running one of our different paint schemes as well here for the Coke 600, with this being a Crown Jewel event. It was the same paint scheme that we ran at both our Vegas race as well as the Talladega race. Now, oh, more contact with Ryan Truex. Really not taking it easy here. 20 laps to go on the stage. About a 4-second lead. A little bit more damage once again. 14 drivers on the lead lap here as Eric Almirola just went a lap down now. And I think we're going to pit here off of turn 4 this next time. Trying something a little different here. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. As we get down onto pit road. Maybe trying to short pit to the end of the stage here. And we got a lot of drivers that still have to pit before the end of this. Well, 6 drivers that were on the lead lap that have to pit to the end of the stage. Then everybody that was a lap down as well is going to have to pit. So as long as a caution doesn't come out, this isn't going to really hurt us too bad. Got a nice clean stop in there. 16.4 seconds off the pit road we go. Back onto the racetrack. Denny Hamlin just passed us, so he just put us 1 lap down. As we come out of the pits in 15th. Currently the first driver 1 lap down here. Eric Almirola is back on the lead lap now again. But we have the fastest car on the track. We've got 4 fresh Goodyears. Now it's just a matter of who will hit pit road before the end of the stage. It looked like we had a car blowing up there. It looked like Chris Buescher. But we stay green. He got onto pit road in time, it looks like. So I don't know if that was a tire issue or an engine issue, but nevertheless, we stay green for now. Still tough to see exactly when everybody else is going to pit. Oh, a little contact with Paul Menard. Menard gets loose, and around goes Paul Menard back through the field. Caution, and we're stuck 1 lap down, but we will get the free pass. It was Ryan Preece who had a tire issue, but he gets back out onto the racetrack. That was a good caution for him, even though he falls a few laps down. Yeah, he's 3 laps down now, but that is going to split some more strategy. So contact with Menard. Might as well pit again while we get the free pass, I guess. We'll try to race this to the end of the stage. The caution comes out with only 14 laps left in stage number 1. It's our 3rd caution of the race now. And unfortunately for us, we have to restart at the rear of the field. Now we could have stayed out, I guess, but it wouldn't have really done much. We would have still had to restart towards the back here. So here we go, nevertheless. Green flag back in the air. We've got guys on older tires at the front of the field here. Even more drivers on fresh tires back where I'm at. Bump to the back of the 52 there, coming off of turn 2, trying to get him going. But now he backs up out of the way instead. Maybe one of those guys on older tires. Oh, a little contact with Clint Boyer. The back of the 36 of BJ McLeod now, just trying to get him going. Now a push coming from behind from Landon Castle. We try to get going here. Hamlin's still in the lead. We might still have a shot to win the stage. Really depends on how all this lap traffic's going to pay out. We're still in 15th, but Hamlin is pulling away on older tires because all the guys with fresh tires are still trying to battle through this field. Someone has just moved into 2nd now. On fresher tires, they're running Hamlin down pretty quick though. 9 laps to go in stage 1. Oop, little mistake there getting into turn 1. That could cost us some time. Oh boy, that's going to get tight off of turn 2. Brushing the wall a little bit once again. We're definitely going to get stage points. Michael McDowell. McDowell has just taken the race lead in the Coca-Cola 600. He's got a shot on fresh tires now to win this stage. 8 laps to go. Can he do it? Man, we're driving this car as hard as we can right now. Hamlin, who was leading, has now fallen back to 6th. McDowell's still in the lead, but he's got pressure from behind him here as Kyle Busch is trying to make a run at him. Man, we're driving this car as hard as we can here. We might need another caution. 7 to go. We go to the outside. Almost have to at this point in the stage. Unless we start holding it full throttle. So we move up to 7th, passing Denny Hamlin here. We'll run full throttle through 3 and 4. We're doing all we can. Oh, brush off the wall coming out of 4. That'll slow us up. 6 to go. Well, you can't say we're not trying. Full throttle that time through 1 and 2 again. Almirola closing up to us. Gives us a push down the back stretch here, trying to get us going. Kyle Busch now in the race lead. Yeah, we're definitely running as hard as we can right now. Trying to keep the 10 behind us, hold on to every stage point we can. 5 laps to go. If we get a caution right now, we would actually restart on the inside line. You might see guys that stayed out under the last caution pit. They're not going to have many laps left. Now Almirola keeps helping us out. We might be able to catch Suarez for 6th. I don't think we're going to catch anybody if we stay green beyond that point. 4 to go. Kyle Busch still leads. Things are looking good for him. I don't think we're going to catch lap traffic before the end of the stage. That would have helped too if we could have, but I don't think there were enough laps left by the time we went green. Three laps to go in stage 1. Kyle Busch leads. We're trying to run down Suarez for 6th. Probably going to be our best chance here because now if the caution comes out, the stage is going to be over. Really whipping this car in the corners, trying to do everything we can to catch up. We're slowly gaining on Suarez, but I think we're going to run out of laps here in this opening stage in the Coca-Cola 600. 2 to go now for Kyle Busch. He's going to catch lap traffic by the end of this lap. He could be in danger of losing the lead to everybody else that's racing for position. Michael McDowell still holding on to 2nd right now as Busch is going to hit lap traffic going into turn 3. Still 2nd behind Suarez, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Trying to hold it full throttle through 1 and 2 now. Gained a couple tenths on him there, but yeah, we're just too far behind. It looks like we're going to finish 7th in stage 1. Kyle Busch here coming out of turn 4 for the final time in the opening stage of the race. McDowell closing in on him at the finish here, but cannot get him. And Kyle Busch will win stage number 1 here at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. We're going to finish in 7th. At least we got 4 stage points there. Better than nothing. Michael McDowell, 2nd place in stage 1. Challenging for the lead here early on. It'll be fun to see how he performs throughout the course of this race. You look at the top 10 there. Likely everybody's going to hit pit road here during the stage break, as I would imagine. 3 cautions in the opening stage here in the Coke 600. Kyle Busch 1st, Michael McDowell 2nd, Brad Keselowski in 3rd, Kurt Busch 4th, Martin Truex Jr. 5th, Daniel Suarez 6th, Ryan Blaney 7th, Eric Almirola 8th, 9th was Denny Hamlin, and Jimmy Johnson gets the the 1 and final playoff point for finishing 10th in stage number 1. But of course, the nighttime is starting to roll in. for stage number 2. The lights are on. It's not completely dark yet, but we are getting there, and the green flag is going to be in the air for stage number 2, as we're just past a quarter of the way done. So an interesting restart here. We did lose 3 spots on pit road, so we had to restart back in 10th. So we're right on the back bumper of Jimmy Johnson. We got Chase Elliott here just behind us as well. But nowhere to go on the top side of the racetrack, unfortunately for us. And here comes Harvick up the middle. He gives us a little bit of a shot. They're 3 wide behind us. Big run coming for us now through the tri-oval. Quad oval, rather. Playoffs at the end of this race. William Byron trying to put up a fight in 11th right now as we work to his inside now. So we're battling for the position going into turn 1. We've got a fast race car. Arguably the best race car out of anybody in the field, but we still got a ways to go here in this one. Byron loosens us up off of turn 2 to our back bumper there. Tries to get around us on the outside of 3 and 4 as we drove it in way too deep. Byron's going to get the spot. Chase Elliott trying to close in as well. So the outside's my preferred lane here at Charlotte. We haven't ran it much throughout the course of this race though. A little tighter on the bottom. Looser on the entry, tighter towards the exit when I run the bottom of the racetrack. But I'm really just trying to take care of the car. We've already wrecked once in this race. Of course, 3 strikes and I'm out. Happened. That one wreck came early in the race on lap 32. Chase Elliott there couldn't get him that time. Just going to have to hold on for 13th for right now, it looks like. Just kind of slowly start to space each other out. Times. Other faster drivers in this race, of course, Kyle Busch, your stage 1 winner. Martin Truex Jr. looked pretty fast at times in the opening stage. He led some laps, and as well Denny Hamlin led some laps too. So the Joe Gibbs cars are really looking like the favorites here in this one. And there goes Truex to the lead. So we're barely going to clear William Byron up off of turn 2 that time for the 11th spot on the racetrack. Chase Elliott going to try to follow us up here and move into 12th past his teammate Byron. He'll clear him off of turn 4 with ease. To the inside of Eric Almirola for position. And just like that, we're going to move up another spot. Almirola going to try to loosen us up off of turn 2, giving us a little bit of a push. But if anything, that helped us more than what it hurt us. Giving us a shot down the backstretch to kind of get away from the 10 car behind us now. Moving in on Daniel Suarez and Brad Keselowski. Joey Logano in front of us there as well. I see Jimmy Johnson nearing on a top 5 spot here as Kyle Busch goes for the lead into turn 1 again on Truex. Can't get him there, and now the caution for the 4th time today. And early in this race, might I add. We got drivers towards the rear of the field hitting pit road. Rear of the lead lap, I should say. Clint Boyer will get the free pass in 17th, but he'll be 1 lap down now because he is currently 2 laps down. So Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, and William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Eric Almirola all going to pit. And we might as well take that pit strategy here. We can't make it on fuel to the end of the stage from this point. But we might as well pit with everybody behind us pitting. So now it's looking like the top 9 are going to stay out. Hold their track position. Everybody else pits. Jones gained a spot there. Elliott gains a spot. We did not... Well, I should say we went into the pits first out of the guys that went into pit road. And we came out ahead of all of them. So we did win the race off pit road. We got a pretty good crew here tonight. Top of their game. And the green flag is back in the air once again in the Coke 600. So everybody from 10th on back with fresh tires here on this restart as we try to muscle our way to the bottom of the track, pushing Chase Elliott down the backstretch, trying to get him going into turn 3, but there's nowhere for him to go. And now we're 3x3 on the outside of the racetrack. That's going to get a little tight, a little bit of a scrape off the wall, but we're going to keep going with the 10 car locked to our bumper here, trying to help us along. Kind of a tighter 1.5 mile racetrack here at Charlotte. Another push there from Almirola. That loosens us up into the 43 of Bubba Wallace down the racetrack. We both hold on to it for now. But all that could have been a lot worse than what it was. Back down to the inside, trying to make some moves now. Going into turns 1 and 2, a little contact with the side of the 9. He gets out of shape. He's going to lose a few spots. 3 wide now. Still off the exit of the corner. Harvick trying to follow us through. As we try to follow William Byron up ahead, who is the first driver right now on 4 fresh Goodyears. Harvick going to give us a push off of turn 4 to get on by Suarez, his teammate. As Truex goes for the race lead again on Hamlin out in front of the field. A little loose off of turn 2 there, trying to hold the 4 of Harvick behind us. And now diving it into turns 3 and 4. 3 wide, tight maneuver to get around both Byron and Logano. So we are currently the first driver on 4 fresh tires. And we will move up to 3rd now, passing Kurt Busch going into turn 1. Harvick's got a pretty fast car though, trying to follow us from behind. Joe Gibbs running 1, 2, and 4th on the racetrack. Eric Jones also inside the top 10. To the outside of Denny Hamlin now for 2nd. We'll pass him, working on Truex, zigging down to the inside. Into turn 1, we're going to clear Martin Truex Jr. Will he attempt a crossover move? He was looking, and now we're going to block him off the exit of turn 2. Blaney back to the lead once again here. We're on fresher tires, but everybody will still have to pit before the end of stage number 2. Remember, there are 4 stages in this race. We will be halfway done at the end of this stage. Truex still holding on to 2nd for right now. Harvick is up to 4th. Eric Almirola also on fresh tires. He now passes Harvick for 4th. You'll likely see the top 5 start to fill up with guys on fresher tires as the laps wind on here over the course of this run. We'll alternate through the cameras once again here. Now that we're in the open air. Taking a very good time here to try and widen out our lead in this race. Hopefully we can get a couple stage wins here before the end of the race. Nab a couple more playoff points and add on to our regular season points lead. Not a bad first stage, finishing 7th, but we definitely should have been competing for the stage win. That was just not the case the way the cautions had fell. We were looking good on the very start of the race despite starting at the rear of the field in 39th because we didn't qualify. Got all the way up to the lead, but then once we got involved in that first caution, it doesn't seem like we've been the same since. Closest we've looked since that opening 30 laps of the race. And that is still our longest green flag run as well, was the opening 31 laps we had completed. Ooh. Little bit of a bobble there. Still washing up the track tight. We were running half throttle through most of that corner. Just trying to make sure we weren't going to hit the wall. Yeah, I mean, the car's tight on exit, loose on entrance on the bottom of the track. We're definitely fighting it, and it handles a lot better at the top, but again, we're trying not to hit the wall as much as possible, especially after wrecking once already. Trying to take care of the car for most of this race. We'll move back to the top later on in this one, but I think we're doing a good job for right now, at least trying to hold on to it. We're catching up to some of these cars that did not pit under the last caution. Mr. Pizza, thanks for joining this one here tonight. For the Coca-Cola 600 here on NASCAR Heat 4 on the channel. Oh boy, man, big run came on the back of the 17 there. Couldn't get the car slowed up in time. Made a little contact, almost side drafted through the corner to quickly get around him. We're currently in stage number 2. Kyle Busch won stage 1. We finished in 7th. In case you were wondering. 3 cautions in the opening stage, and we've had 1 so far in stage number 2. The most cautions we've had in the race all year is 12. We're on very good pace to break that today. Everybody will have to pit, of course, before the end of the stage. We were one of the few drivers that had actually hit pit road under that last caution. So that's why we're pulling out to such a big lead, because we have fresher tires than a lot of the guys behind us. It only took us about 3 or 4 laps to drive through all of them and get to the lead. Such a long race for things to go wrong here. Pretty proud of the effort so far, though. Oh, man. A little out of shape there, turns 1 and 2. Car just kind of steps up on me a little bit every now and then, kind of like it did right there. But we did a good job correcting it in the middle of the corner without giving much time away. Get back to the regular camera now for the rest of this race. Oof. Barely getting to the inside of Landon Castle without running him over there. So we are already up over the 1 hour mark in this race. I gotta say, that was kind of quick. Started this race right around 3:52 or so. Near the 5 o'clock hour mark. Oh, a little contact with the back of the 8. When things were starting to calm down just a little bit. A little gap now before we hit the next lap car. But once we hit the next lap car, we're not going to have a small gap here for quite some time. It looks like Ty Dillon will be the next car we're going to catch. It looks like Alex Bowman just in front of him. Maybe Ryan Newman over there. We're out to about a 17.5 second lead on Eric Almirola, who is still in second. Surprise runners in this race. Michael McDowell finished second in the opening stage. He was one of the guys that stayed out though under the last caution, so that is why he is no longer inside the top 5. Bubba Wallace though, currently in the 5th position. One of the guys that did pit. Having a good solid run so far. Wow, we got close to the wall there, trying to squeeze to the top side of both Stenhouse and Joey Gase. Did a good job keeping it off the wall too. Oh, a little contact with the side of the two. Teammates getting together off of turn 4. A little loose there. There's Michael McDowell. On older tires, we're going to catch and pass him here. He's in the 13th spot. He'll go a lap down, so we're putting quite a few drivers a lap down here with this different pit strategy. But again, everybody will have to pit before the end of the stage at some point in time. Alex, thanks for joining here over the course of this long race. Doing a solid job for right now. I haven't really checked the fuel and tire wear lately. Ooh, this is going to get tight. Off of turn number 2, trying to stay to the outside as we're kind of boxed in between Eric Almirola and Kyle Busch right now. And really nowhere to go for us. Gonna have to wait until the exit of turn 4. Turning way down the racetrack there, using all of it up to put both Eric Jones and Kyle Busch a lap down now. So we got about 27 more laps left on the estimated fuel. We should be able to run a full fuel run with this car, not having to worry about tires here at Charlotte. That has been the case so far. And the reason why we have a big lead right now is due to the fact that we had varying pit strategies under the lone caution in the second stage. We had some drivers pit and some drivers stayed out. We were one of the drivers that pit. And pretty much everybody that came down onto pit road were all running outside the top 10. So they were able to cycle not only into the top 10, but most of them, if not all of them, in the top 5. These other guys just trying to hold on at this point. Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, the only 2 drivers on older tires who are actually kind of hanging in there, still in the lead lap, running in 3rd and 4th. And now Truex is up to 2nd. He's passed Eric Almirola. As they're all in danger of going a lap down here shortly. And they might need a quick caution. If not, they're going to have to hope that we pit before them. But again, all those guys that did not pit under the caution will have to pit about 12 laps or so sooner than what the rest of us are going to have to pit. So their pit window is going to be coming up here in about 12 to 15 laps, if I had to estimate. Here's Almirola now. We'll go to the inside going into turn 3. We'll get around him. So we close in on the back of Denny Hamlin now. Looking to the inside, trying to side draft him now down the front stretch. So glad we pitted under that caution. This is working out awesome. So we've now put a lap on the field to this point. They'll obviously be fighting for the free pass position here at this point. And with a long race still to go, we're not even halfway home yet. Obviously anything could happen here at this point. Little bobble getting into turn 1. Should have probably went to the outside to get around both LaJoy and Joey Gase, but we're able to get around him on the inside still. Just had to wait till the exit of the corner. So it's going to be a stretch of the first of 4 days in a row in which we will have races on this season here for the Cup Series. So obviously we're racing in probably the biggest race of the week. Oops. In the Coca-Cola 600 here at Charlotte, one of the crown jewels. Probably arguably the second biggest race, most prestigious race of the season. And tomorrow night, we're going to race at Pocono, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Start Time. Then the next night, following that on Saturday night, we go to Michigan. That will also be an 8 o'clock start time. And then a 4 o'clock start time on Sunday, we go to Sonoma for the first road course race of the year in the Cup Series. So a unique stretch on the schedule, that's for sure. You got a 1.5 miles, a 2.5 mile triangle, a 2 mile oval, and then a road course. So hopefully we have some exciting races here over the course of the next few days. Got about another half-track lead on Truex, on top of the lap we already have on him right now. But again, they should be hitting pit road pretty soon here. Honestly, I could see them hitting pit road in the next couple laps. We can only make it about another 13 laps or so before we're going to have to pit ourselves, and we have about 12 lap pressure tires. Big clump of lap cars coming up here. And we've got drivers hitting pit road now under green. It's Joey Logano. You can see him diving off onto pit road. It's going to be the lone driver to come in that last lap. And I'm sure we're going to have more as the laps wind on. See if second place might end up pitting this time. Martin Truex Jr. No, he'll stay out at least one more lap. Still trying to hope for a caution, but being in that free pass position. So Truex is probably going to try to stay out as long as he possibly can. We got another driver onto pit road there. So again, only about half the cars are going to pit, and then the second half of the field is probably going to pit in about another 10 laps or so. Assuming we stay green to cycle all the way through. Pit road speed limit is 45 miles an hour here at Charlotte. And it's a very, very tight pit road to get onto as well. Again, the car handles better on the top side of the track. We're just trying to take care of it for the course of this long race for at least right now. Honestly, if it was about a normal 400 or even just a 500 mile race with less stages, I would probably run the top almost every single lap. It's not going to be the case here today. Oh boy, Corey LaJoie just pulled down right in front of us. I thought it was going to squeeze to his inside there. That wasn't the case. A lot of drivers hit pit road that last lap. Almirola cycled into second place now again. He's the only driver that is currently one lap down, so we might end up putting 2 laps on these guys very shortly. But of course, guys like Truex and Hamlin on fresher tires now that are on the racetrack, they are a lot faster than what we are currently. The right front tire down to 25% tire wear. Oh boy. Awkward angle getting into turn 3 to the inside of BJ McLeod there. Gave us a lot of room. We just got to him a little later than what I wanted to. And Eric Almirola is now the next car just in front of us, and around he goes! And he stays up the racetrack. Almirola goes around. Caution is going to fly. And that is our 5th yellow of the race. And luckily he stayed up the track long enough for us to not hit him. Because that would have been bad. That could have been our 2nd wreck of the race already. But luckily it wasn't. It's kind of a sketchy moment here in the 2nd stage. Still got 33 to go, and Almirola was supposed to get the free pass, but because he's involved in the yellow, I think Bubba Wallace might end up getting it. And that is going to trap all those guys that pitted under green multiple laps down now. So that is huge. They're going to take the wave around though, so they will get one of their laps back. And Almirola was going to get the free pass still, so he is back 1 lap down now. And here we go, green flag in the air once again at Charlotte. 30 laps to go in stage 2. That was our longest green flag run of the race so far. And now we're going to have drivers trying to get some of their laps back here at the beginning of this run. Such as William Byron and Eric Jones, who are just behind us. And we drove it in too deep into turn 3. That's going to allow Byron to get to our inside. He cannot complete the pass, at least not yet. Trying to side draft him here through the quad oval, but now he clears us. But now he goes up the track. Try to keep the car pinned to the bottom here to hold Harvick back. Can't quite get back to the 24 that time. Got to run down the backstretch after running the top side. He's trying to block us. Looked like he was going to start at the top. He moves to the bottom as we try to stay off of him. Very close battle right now. But we have not made contact with one another, at least not yet, as we stay clean. Blocks us to the top. Seems like whatever lane we go to, he runs that same exact lane. We're trying to switch it up here, corner after corner. Try to keep him guessing. Looking to the inside. Couldn't close the door on us there, but we also couldn't stay alongside of him to side draft him. Down the backstretch we go once more. Big run off of turn 4 to the inside. Side by side into turn 1. Big slide job and a crossover move now by the 24 of Byron as he completes the crossover. back in front of us. We'll try to get him into turn 3 again. Driving it in deep. Washing up the track. Trying to pinch him off the exit of the corner. Can't quite do it. And now here comes Eric Jones. As Byron stays just ahead of us. And now Jones trying to battle us as well as we throw it in deep into turns 1 and 2 again. To the inside of the 24. Side by side down the backstretch as we try to side draft him. And now he's fully in front of us. Blocks us to the inside as we go to the top now through 3 and 4. This was a battle for the lead. It'd be an awesome battle. Just kept it off the wall. That was a close one. It really loose. We're okay. Sometimes you just got to keep your foot in it. In the outside through 3 and 4 again, trying to run down the 24. Just blocking us off, a little shove in the middle of the corner. Byron holding on to it. Back to the inside again. Into turns 1 and 2, driving it in deep. Still can't get around him. Side by side down the backstretch. 24 car trying to hold on into turn 3. Another deep dive into the corner. We're going to clear Byron finally off of turn number 4. And just like that, well, I should say we're still in the lead, but Byron is now 2 laps down in third. And if a caution comes out, or we get to the end of the stage, whatever comes first, Eric Almirola will get the free pass 1 lap down. And he will be back on the lead lap to start stage 3. Got 21 laps to go in the stage yet. Our fastest lap of the race so far is a 29.744. But our fastest lap ever here that we've ran at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Cup Series is a 29.645. So we're about a little less than a 10 here, but we'll see over the course of the race. Still a long race to go. Oh man, got close to the wall there that time. Just trying to finish out the rest of the stage. Oh. Contact up there again. Honestly, with this big of a lead, I think I might try to short pit at the end of the stage. We'll easily be able to hold on to the race lead. We can take 4 tires and we won't have to pit under the caution. And that might keep guys like Byron and all of them that are 2 laps down from taking the wave around to get back on the lead lap, which there's a good chance they might do. So that is definitely an option here at this point. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to short pit to the end of the stage here if we stay green. Pit road closes. Oh, whoa, almost got into the side of the 13 there. I think we stayed off of him though. Barely, but we did. This race, it'll feel very, very rewarding to win. Not only with it being a crown jewel event, but just the fact it's the longest race of the year. This is as close to an endurance race as you're going to find in a NASCAR race. No matter what track you go to, or what other event there is. It is a survival of the fittest like attitude when it comes to the Coke 600. Again, so far we're pacing ourselves well. Alright, so we got 10 laps to go. I might try to give myself a little bit of a buffer here. Stay out this time. That way, with 4 fresh tires to the end of the stage, we can give ourselves a little bit of an advantage. So we'll have 8 laps to go next time by. But I will pit this time. Oh, we're a little more spaced out still. Be a lot easier to get onto pit road at this point. So I'm going to try to short pit here to the end of the stage. Got to make sure we don't speed. Speed limit 45 miles an hour using all the racetrack. Nobody around us. We did a great job getting onto pit road that time. So green flag pit stops coming your way. It's nice to see. We have gained another sub though over the course of this race, so that's pretty awesome. Second one here today. Still got a long race to go though, almost halfway. So we're going to come out of the pits. Yeah, we're still in the race lead on Almirola, so This is going to work out. Eric would have been back on the lead lap anyway at the end of the stage with the free pass, so that's not going to hurt us too much that he's back on the lead lap right now, as we're back up to speed. 7 laps to go. And now it's our duty to try and put as many of these guys 2 laps down as possible behind Eric Almirola. Bubba Wallace in the free pass position in 3rd for right now. Will Martin Truex Jr. be able to catch him? I mean, the only thing is one other driver is going to get the free pass, but it's better than a lot of them taking the wave around. Wow, got very close to the side of the 00 there of Landon Castle. Made it clean though, got it to work. 3 laps to go now in stage number 2. Looks like we're going to get our first stage win of the race. Try to replicate that in the next stage. We did score 4 points in stage 1, so we'll have 14 total with a chance to get 10 more in stage 3. Bubba Wallace still in the free pass position. Obviously it's going to be a battle of will they be able to hold their spot back to the line, because we have 2 laps to go now. Guess we could still pit at the stage break on one condition. That's if everybody else pits. I'm gonna be giving up just a little bit, but we'll see, I guess. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go in stage 2. Well, we're halfway home here in the Coca-Cola 600. Brian Blaney wins stage 2. And Bubba Wallace will get the free pass at the end of this stage. Everybody's going to hit pit road here, it looks like. Doesn't look like anybody's going to take the wave around. So in that aspect, it looked like it wasn't a great job to short pit to the end of the stage there, but at least I know that for this final stage coming up. So we might as well pit again here, stay on the same sequence as Eric Almirola. And Eric actually won the race off of pit road there, so we'll have to restart in second. Here we go, green flag in the air. in the Coca-Cola 600. Almirola leads us to the green. He went for a spin. I went for a, not a spin. Hit the wall pretty hard, bringing out one of the cautions earlier in the race as well. So we've had 4 cautions total here in this race. 5 cautions, sorry, 5 cautions total. And now Hamlin gives us a shove going into turn 3. He tries to get us going on the outside. Another push coming off of turn 4. It's going to help us get by Byron down the front stretch as Truex tries to get one of his laps back. Hoping for maybe a quick yellow as we go for the lead on Almirola. Couldn't get him though. At least that time. Hamlin has definitely been lurking here. Almirola, we're closing in on him for the race lead, but Martin Truex Jr. also with the clean air out in front of the field here. Hamlin could be trying to push us to really help us get going, so he can maybe catch Truex a little quicker himself for a position. So a big run coming now to the inside of Almirola, side by side for the lead into turn 1. Trying to complete the pass. Here comes Hamlin to the inside. 3 wide. He passes us both. Kyle Busch trying to do the same. Contact off of turn 2. Kyle Busch kind of pushed us up into the 10 of Almirola. And now he tries to squeeze up the middle to get his lap back. But the lane is going to shut for now. And Almirola continues to lead here in the Coke 600. Almirola letting all these guys get their laps back right now. That's huge if a caution comes out. We're going to try to get around Almirola for the lead now once again going into turn 3, and hopefully we can get these guys lapped down again. Almost made contact as we wash up the track once more. And here comes the 34 to try and squeeze under us. Teammate Joey Logano closing into our back bumper now. And we're stuck. At least we could run the outside here. Logano gives us a push. Off of turn 2, a little brush off the wall again. That kind of tightened us up quite a bit. Oh, a little more contact with the 34 there of Michael McDowell. So we try to close in on the 10. Big run coming through turns 1 and 2. Logano there for the moment. Now to the inside again on Almirola. We've tried to pass him a few times already in the stage. This time we're going to clear him off of turn 4. Here in stage number 3, crowd going nuts. Ryan Blaney back out in front again in the Coke 600. More than a handful of times now in this race, we have led. Becoming too many to count up to this point. Just because of the length alone, this is a very difficult race to use with the steering wheel, but we are going for it here as well. We're going for it 3 wide into turn 3 to pass both Kurt and Kyle Busch. We cleared Kyle. Kurt going to try to cross us over back to the inside. Side drafting him down the front stretch. Hopefully we can get a run now on the top side into turns 1 and 2. Busch still there. And he's going to clear us for now. Ooh, a little contact with Jimmy Johnson off the exit of the corner. Crossover move now to the inside of Kurt Busch again. Oh boy, man, we got loose there. Johnson squeezes by. Still able to block Busch off, but Jimmy Johnson now up to 6th. Back with the lead lap for the time being. Hoping for another quick yellow as we go to the outside to try and get around him into turns 1 and 2. To the inside of Jimmy. Another crossover. Caution! Before he gets his lap back, caution's out, so Jimmy Johnson will have to get the free pass. So we can't make it on fuel to the end of the stage. We'll have 6 drivers on the lead lap. There's a couple guys a lap down that are going to pit here. And we're going to pit as well. Going to give up the lead with the track position, but I think we'll be okay. So here we go, going to restart in 5th. Eric Almirola back out in front once again. How long will that last for as the green flag is back in the air? Here in stage number 3, 82 to go in the 3rd stage of the race. Out of 4. Trying to bump draft the 19 to Truex. Oh, washing up the track ourselves. Got a little tight. Running 3 wide up the middle going into turn 3. Martin Truex Jr. to the forefront at Charlotte. 3 wide off the exit of the corner on the top for 2nd. More contact now at the 10 of Almirola. Kyle Busch 1 lap down, trying to get his lap back under green if possible. So is William Byron in 8th. So we side draft the 24. Big run on the top of the racetrack now. Going into turns 3 and 4. Truex can't block us off, at least not yet. Off of 4 at the line. We're going to clear the 19 to the lead here in the Coke 600 with 80 to go in stage 3. Oh boy, really tight there through 3 and 4 into the wall. And Byron's going to get on by in 7th. And so is Newman now. In 17th, Newman multiple laps down though. And now the 20 of Eric Jones as we're still trying to get the speed in the car. Jones is back on the lead lap in 8th. Everybody does have to pit before the end of the stage here. We had 3 cautions in stage 1, 2 in stage 2. In stage 3 we've had 1 so far. And we have 77 to go in stage 3. We still have a 4th stage left in this race as well. We're about an hour away now from making this the longest race in elapsed time over the start of the season. we go. Past Newman now. Things are definitely going our way so far. Trying to run the outside to get around Byron. Faster over the course of the race. If you could just get a free pass just to get back on the lead lap, you know he's probably going to have a shot at some point in time here. Truex and Hamlin obviously getting faster as the race goes on as well. We dominated stage 2. We dominated so far in stage 3. The early going here. Stage 1, we led some laps early, but Kyle Busch got the stage win and we finished 7th there. So if we win this third stage, we'll still get 2 playoff points going into the final stage of the race, despite not winning all 3 stages. And we'll get a combined total of 24 stage points over the course of the race. So if we win the race as well as win this third stage, we'll actually get 64 of a possible 70 points in this race. And since stage racing has been implemented, we have seen 2 drivers get a full max 70 points for winning all 3 stages and the race. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. were the 2 guys, and they dominated the majority of the race when they were in it at the time. Definitely key here is to stay hydrated throughout the course of a race like this, as I'm doing so. Definitely been sweating here for a little bit now. Ten-second lead on Martin Truex Jr., who is on older tires. About 10-lap older tires. Two drivers have DNF'd in this race. Most that have DNF'd over the course of one race is 7. And that was at Dover 2 races ago. So it looked like at the start of the race, having 3 cautions in the first 100 or 400 laps, it looked like we might have had the possibility to have a record for the amount of cautions with the length of this race being 600 miles, but that's kind of slowed up. We've only had 6 cautions total. We're past halfway. So we've now fallen off the pace for trying to get to that. Good for our sake, I guess. We're better on the longer run. I think when that final stage starts, though, we're going to have something different kind of brewing here. We've led for quite some time. Multiple pit strategies throughout, despite the fact that each stage is 100 laps. Come that final stage, we'll have to see if we'll actually be able to run a full stage caution-free at that point, and see how we can actually split the stage 50 and 50, or 60-40 or 40-60, you know, however gets taken, because we can run 60 laps on a full tank of fuel. So as usual, tomorrow we'll have a couple of streams in the morning still for career mode episodes of both NASCAR Heat 4 and the Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing career mode. We'll have a couple episodes that will hopefully be uploaded tonight that are not live streams. And if not tonight, tomorrow morning before those go on. We'll get to you guys at 9 o'clock for tomorrow morning. Start live streaming. We'll have those two events in the morning, but then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time will be the next full race live stream, and we'll be at Pocono. So we'll be halfway through the regular season after this race here tonight. Truex still in second. He is about 19 seconds off the lead though, but he is about 3 seconds ahead of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin's in third. Almirola's still in fourth. Jimmy Johnson in the top 5 right now. He's having a good run for himself. No clue what the points looked like coming into this race. Still got half a regular season to go. I do know we've had 4 different winners so far this season, so 4 drivers have locked themselves into the playoffs to this point. Bubba Wallace, Jimmy Johnson about to go a lap down here. We take them 3 wide there, so only 4 drivers currently on the lead lap now. Whoa boy. Tried to keep it off the 24th place driver Parker Kligerman, and I did, but I ended up smacking the wall in the process by overcorrecting it. Man, oh man. The fastest lap I've ever ran here at Charlotte is a 29.4644, excuse me. And that was the fastest lap I've ever run here at Charlotte in the Cup Series, and that was leading into this race. We have now matched that time. Be cool if we could break it before the end of the race. Still well over 150 laps left. It's possible. Definitely have to do it at the beginning of a run though on fresh tires, that is for sure. Eric Almirola is now a lap down here. Denny Hamlin just in front of us. We still got about another 3 seconds after that of a gap before we get to Martin Truex Jr. Down to the inside of Hamlin, 3 wide down the backstretch now. We're easily going to clear him going into turn 3. Nice to see a lead like this widened out once again. If we can put a lap on the entire field before they hit pit road and we get a quick caution, trap them multiple laps down again, that would be awesome. There's Martin Truex Jr. So go a lap down the back stretch here. In second place, first driver 1 lap down currently. Just over the 2-hour mark now on this race. We reached the 2-hour mark a couple minutes ago. We're still not even in the final stage. Not even halfway through the second to last stage yet, so this is definitely looking like it's going to be a 3-hour race here. We're looking at well over an hour before the end of the race yet. My longest race ever in any series, obviously it would have to be the Cup Series, but between last season and this season was the Coke 600. It took me, we'll brush off the wall before we're good though. But that Coke 600 in the last season with no stages, I finished 5th and it took me 3 hours and 16 minutes. This could very well be the longest race I've ever done on NASCAR Heat 4. Not just on this season. This will probably never be beaten. Even though we still have more 500-mile races over the course of the season. We'd be lucky if it got beaten. A lap and a quarter ahead of Truex in total. Michael McDowell in 7th. He'll go 2 laps down. Oh boy, this is going to get tight getting into turn 1. We were down on the flat there for a second. I tried to turn the car to get under Chris Buescher and Corey LaJoie real quick. Had to get out of the gas a little bit sooner, but we made the turn work for the most part there. Didn't end up being too bad at all, really. Bubba Wallace has now gone 2 laps down. On the full throttle there that time. Through 1 and 2. So we could do that. We could either do that or just strictly run the outside, giving out of the gas a little bit. That'd be the fastest ways around this track, but oh, a little contact with Ryan Preece off of turn 4. We had a good lap time going there for a little bit. Would have been in the 29s if we didn't make that contact with Preece off of turn 4. That slowed us down quite a bit. Over a lap and a half ahead of Truex now in total time. Again, he was on 10 lap older tires. They should be hitting pit road really within the next 5 to 10 laps. We'll see guys duck onto pit road for their stops here in this 3rd stage. Almirola now 2 laps down. Johnson up in 4th, not too far ahead of us either. I could see him from here. That was a solid corner on the top side of the track. Probably the closest we've gotten to the wall through turns 1 and 2 at least all day. Well, we're at the top of the hour once again. It's now 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Oh, during the course of this race, we'll contact with the back of the 21. And to push 36 there, get him going so we can clear the 21 for us to jump to the inside of Tipped going into turn 3 as we did there. A little bit of damage we'll have to repair whenever we end up pitting next. So yeah, we'll obviously have to pit here before the end of the stage. Could run at the most about 16 laps. We'll have to see how many laps we have left in the stage when we come back to the line. I think we should be about 15 to 20 laps short. Joey Logano is going to hit pit road. First of the drivers that stayed out under the caution in this stage to try and make it onto pit road. Kind of brush the wall a little bit again there, getting into turns 1 and 2. Johnson's 2 laps down, of course. Denny Hamlin not too far ahead of us. He's 1 lap down, but of course green flag pit stops going on right now for these guys that have not pitted yet, such as Hamlin and Truex, who are the only 2 drivers 1 lap down, running in 2nd and 3rd right now. Hamlin's going to hit pit road this time, so is Martin Truex Jr. So both drivers hit pit road. We'll have 2 laps on the field as of right now. By the time we cycle through, we should be 3 laps ahead of them. Looks like Almirola is going to stay out at least 1 more lap here. Manelli pushed here down the front stretch. Finally loosen him up. We'll get on by. Michael McDowell in second, Daniel Suarez in third, Byron fourth, Chase Elliott fifth. I'm thinking right, all those guys still have to hit pit road. Here's Suarez just in front of us. And how about Michael McDowell if a caution comes out now? He'll be one lap down. He'll be able to pit. These guys coming out of the pits though on 4 fresh tires that will be faster than us. That includes Kurt Busch there in the 1. So he's trying to get back up to speed as we're going to get on by him for right now. Yeah, here he comes. Have to keep an eye on him, of course. Kind of used Austin Dillon as a pick there to kind of get away from the one of Kurt Busch for a second. So they're going to, for about 10 laps, these guys that just pit are going to be able to try and gain some sort of time on me, like a Truex or Hamlin. So they're going to need it to stay green. And ideally, if they can get a caution after I come out of the pits and get up to speed, that would probably be their best chance to get back into this one as soon as possible for the end of the stage. If not, they'll just have to wait till the end of the stage and fight for the free pass that way to see who will be on the lead lap by the time we get to the final 100 laps. Well, this is definitely a long one so far. That is for sure. There's McDowell. He hasn't pit yet. In fact, I think, if I remember right, I think Michael McDowell is actually on the same pit strategy we are. Oh, a little contact with Paul Menard. Now into the wall. That's going to cost us some time. Quite a bit of damage, too, as we keep it going, but that could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being there, as we now have 30 to go, and here comes Kurt Busch trying to drive back into the picture again. That allows McDowell to get away for a little bit here. I'll wear out our right sides a little bit more again, but should be able to make it to the edge of the field run anyway. Trying to reel in McDowell, put him 3 laps down here, hopefully, and caution before we hit pit road. That's perfect for me, as that's going to trap a lot of guys at least a couple laps down here. So now's the perfect time for us to pit. So McDowell will get one of his laps back, and that was perfect for him too before he goes another lap down. Obviously, we had some guys take the wave around, such as Truex Johnson right there, that were 3 laps down, or now 2 laps down. And we'll see here. Green flag back in the air once again. 26 laps to go in stage number 3. Got a good jump there on the restart to get out ahead of Suarez, who restarted on the outside of us there. It was our second caution of the 3rd stage, and it was our 7th total caution in this race. Of course, oh man, we got loose there. Barely got out of the gas here. Trying to keep Chase Elliott locked behind us, keep these guys from getting their laps back here before the end of the stage. We only have a couple lap fresher tires. It's not going to make much of a difference. And we're driving it in there deep, trying to keep the car pinned on the bottom to keep them blocked off behind us. McDowell at the end of the stage should get one of his laps back here. We were both able to pit under the caution. Michael McDowell finished second in stage 1. Not sure where he finished in stage 2, but it looks like he's going to finish second here in stage 3 as well. And he'll get the restart on the lead lap in the final stage, assuming around are actually restarting behind him. Kept the clean air so far off this restart. Elliott hasn't even gotten to the inside of us yet. He's been close a couple times, but just hasn't quite gotten there. Suarez kind of closing the gap on the 9 behind us. Suarez now trying to get under Chase for position right behind us. Not sure. I want to say they're probably 2 laps down right now. If not 2, they're 3 laps down. Yeah, they're not in the top 5, so they're actually both 3 laps down currently. Jimmy Johnson up passing Denny Hamlin and Truex, and now Almirola up to 4th. Getting around Truex, or 5th rather, getting around Truex for position. He's probably right behind Denny Hamlin now. Try to fight through the back marker cars at the rear of the field. Oh, got a little tight there off of turn 4. Had to get out of the gas. That's going to kill us down the straightaway here. So we still pull up to block Suarez towards the top going into turn 1. Tries to get us to the bottom. We run full throttle through 1 and 2, and that'll keep him behind us. So at the line this next time, we'll have 19 laps to go in stage 2. Trying to run down McDowell, put him 2 laps down before the end of the stage, so we'll be in the same situation we were on this last restart here. Worst thing that could happen is another caution comes out before the end of the stage. He gets the free pass, so that way when we start the final stage of the race, the 4th stage, he'll restart right alongside me on the front row. That would be the best case scenario for him and the worst case scenario for me to end this stage, but we should still have the stage win locked in. Could put us in a tough decision spot there as well, choosing whether or not we want to stay out or pit. Guess it really all depends on how many laps we'll have left at that time. Not even a half track ahead of McDowell yet. We'll have 16 to go at the line. And obviously a bunch of lap cars in between us too, but we do have the clean air compared to him right now. It's where we're going to gain most of our time with this being on equal tires. Probably faster for the first 10 to 15 laps anyway. Being back in traffic, restarting towards the rear of the field, that's going to hurt him a little bit. Not worried about running the outside yet though, still trying to take care of the car. Honestly, when we start the final stage too, I'll probably still be running the inside. Once we get to that final run of the race, or what seems like it would be the final run, whether that be a green flag run or just a straight out tire run and fuel run, definitely run the top consistently. Oh boy. Into the wall there through 3 and 4. That got a little sketchy. We stay green. 14 to go in stage 3. get out of the gas off of turn 4 because I almost did it again. Car just pushes on the exit of the corners. Only 2 drivers out of this race still, despite having 7 cautions. Little over a lap and a half ahead of Michael McDowell. Had to get on the brakes here. Almost got into the back of the 71 of Ryan Truex through turns 3 and 4. Again, just trying to keep care of the car here. We're doing a pretty swell job throughout the course of this race. Mr. Pizza, how's everybody a lap down right now? Well, what happened was in stage 3, stage we are currently in, we were about 10 laps into the stage. Caution came out. At the time we had 6 drivers on the lead lap. I was the only driver to pit on the lead lap. There were a couple guys that were a lap down that did pit as well. And then we got to the point, we had a really long green flag run, about 70 laps or so. And they had pit, and we were within 2 to 3 laps of pitting ourselves because we could take it about 10 laps longer than them. So then the caution came out when we had 2 laps on the field. And Michael McDowell was in second place at the time, so he got one of his laps back with the free pass. That's why he's 1 lap down, and everybody else is 2. So the caution played out about as perfect as it could have. And we were already driving away from them as it was too. We got a lap ahead of the field, but then we were 2 laps ahead because of the situation with the timing of the caution. But if we would have ended up pitting, which we were planning on doing 2 to 3 laps later, because that was all the further we could run it on fuel, then we would have. We might have been a lap ahead of them still. I think Denny Hamlin and Truex probably, but everybody else would have been a lap down. And we probably would have been about 25 seconds ahead of them still. But that was the difference maker right there. 2, we're looking like we're going to win stage 3. We've got 5 laps to go. Of course, there is still a 4th stage in this race, so we still got a ways to go yet to decide the winner, as we are closing in on the 2.5-hour mark in this race. I knew it was going to be a long one coming in, and it has been so far, but very topsy-turvy kind of a race. Comers and goers throughout, but it seems like whenever we've been in the lead, though, been able to hold on to it pretty well, and if we're not leading, we seem to be running right around 10th or so. And it's just been a really weird race. Started at the rear of the field as well, did not qualify earlier. So when we get to the line this time, we will have 3 laps to go in stage number 3. We have had 7 cautions total in this race. It looks like McDowell will be able to hold on, as I kind of expected he would. And he'll get the free pass at the end of the stage, so he'll be back on the lead lap to start the final stage of the race. And it's been a long one. I've been sweating since pretty much about the start of this 3rd stage. It has been a long race. Oh, a little contact with Kyle Busch getting into turn 1. Kind of forced our way in there. Accidentally, though. I didn't think we were going to have that big of a run on him. And there's Truex in 5th. That'd be huge if he goes another lap down. He's one of the faster cars in the field as well. Denny Hamlin in 4th. Jimmy Johnson not too far ahead either. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 3. This is a big moment here as we just put Truex a lap down. Again. It's going to be close if we're going to catch Hamlin. We're not going to catch Jimmy Johnson, though. Jimmy's too far ahead of us. We'll try to get Denny here through turns 3 and 4. He goes to the bottom. That's going to give us a shot on the top side. Going to get the run off the corner now. We're going to pass him, so Hamlin will go another lap down. Johnson holds on to 2 laps down at the end of the stage here. And we are going to win stage number 3. So Blaney, 2 stage wins and a 7th place finish in stage 1. 24 stage points on the day. So we go into the final stage of the race. The only race with 4 stages on the season. And the Coke 600. Got stage points in every single one of them, so that's pretty good. 2 playoff points. But McDowell will get to restart the final stage on the lead lap. So everybody will hit pit road here during the stage break. Kind of expected, of course. So yeah, here we go. Only 2 drivers out of the race, by the way, are Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick. It'll be Michael McDowell versus me for the win. That is looking like it's going to be the case. Michael McDowell's ran in the top 10 all day. In stage 1, he finished in 2nd behind Kyle Busch, so he's scored quite a few stage points himself. I'm not sure where he finished in stage 2, but yeah, we'll see. Of course, with the free pass, he'll restart at the rear of the field again, but I don't think the cautions are done. We've had 7 over the course of the race, which isn't a lot for as many miles as we've put in, almost 500 miles into the race. 450 miles down, 150 to go, 300 laps in, with just less than 100 to go, actually, figuring the caution laps. But nevertheless, here we go. You got some hungry drivers behind us trying to get some laps back and hope for quick yellows, which could very well happen. We saw that happen in a race not long ago. It was Kansas. Yeah, the last race at Kansas on Sunday. That happened to be the case. We kind of bobbled through 3 and 4. Hamlin was easily able to get on by that time. Now Jimmy Johnson can work his way up there because he was 2 laps down at the start of the stage. If he can get to 1 lap down and get a quick yellow, he'll get the free pass and he'll be back on the lead lap as well. So Jimmy might have the best shot of anybody multiple laps down right now, and he does have a fast car. He started towards the rear of the field in this race as well. He just had a poor qualifying effort. He started outside the top 20. Oh, Truex gonna squeeze under us. He washes us up the track. We're in the wall now. Martin Truex Jr. got very aggressive. Didn't want to waste any time at all. Johnson now 1 lap down. And is now hoping for a quick yellow. I mean, we were going to the inside as normal, and I was not expecting Truex to throw it in there at the last second, but happened to be the case. And up into the wall we went. It wasn't heavy contact with the wall. We did get out of the gas immediately after the contact with Truex, but the force was just enough to get us into the outside wall there. Eric Jones blocks us around the top side of the track there through 1 and 2. Michael McDowell about 3.5 to 4 seconds off the lead as he's still trying to fight through the lap cars. He's gotten around a decent amount of them so far, but Uh-oh, can't quite clear the 20 of Eric Jones yet. So we're going to clear Jones off of turn 4 now. So try to run these guys down that are ahead of us. Do I race on a wheel or do I use manual gears? I race on a steering wheel, but not for every race. I tend to change it up when I do these full race live streams. Some races I'll use the controller, some I'll use the steering wheel, just depending on it. But last couple races now I've used the steering wheel, and I plan on using it for Pocono and Michigan for the next 2 races as well. But yeah, we got the steering wheel here tonight, which is probably a lot of the reason why I'm sweating over the course of this race. Not profusely, but obviously, I mean, you're sitting and moving around for... We're going on 2.5 hours, just over 2.5 hours now. It's kind of a workout of its own. Couldn't imagine doing that inside an actual stock car. In the elements. Stream is very blurry. Yeah, I had an issue earlier in the day. I went to start this race right on time, and I had an internet not an internet disconnection, but my controller disconnected. And it was weird because the steering wheel shouldn't disconnect like it did. I was only 5 laps in, and caused a big wreck. I didn't want that to be one of the wrecks, so I restarted the race. And I had to stop the stream and restart the stream after that, unfortunately. But that was really the only issue. I was only 5 laps in, so that's why I restarted the race. I had to restart at the rear of the field anyway, so figured what the heck. We were only 5 laps in, luckily, when that happened. But yeah, that was really weird. I don't know how it disconnected, but ever since then, when I started the second stream, it just does not seem like I've had the signal strength that I did when I first started the first. So I don't know what the scenario was there. That was kind of weird, but so that might be for a little bit of the fuzziness or a extra delay of some sort. So I apologize for it. My internet's not been the best pretty much since this whole quarantine situation's gone on. I think that's just because of the amount of people just using the internet in my local area anyway. I mean, there's got to be something of that. I notice whenever I play online with a couple of friends too, it just seems to lag quite a bit. I mean, it would lag before from time to time, but not as bad. So we have caught up to Jimmy Johnson. Really close to him there. If we could put him 2 laps down again, that would be great for us. Got about a 9-second lead on Michael McDowell. Just gonna clear. Oh man, the car stepped out getting into turn 1 there. Just cleared Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy gonna try again back to the inside though. But we're still gonna hold him clear off of turn 2. So Jimmy is still in third, but he is now 2 laps down. And as he just goes 2 laps down, the caution will fly again. Man, that is unfortunate. For Jimmy, at least. That is fortunate for me, though, because that would have put him back on the lead lap if the caution came out 10 seconds sooner. Jimmy will still get the free pass. He'll be 1 lap down now. So that's our 8th caution of the race. 85 to go. We're going to pit because Michael McDowell's pitting as well. We cannot make it to the end of this race on fuel. So McDowell back in the thick of things here. And Hamlin and Truex needed that caution. They're going to stay out. They're going to take the wave around. So is Almirola. So actually Hamlin and Truex will only be 1 lap down along with Jimmy Johnson now. So they're getting back into this. Is this the last live stream today? Yes, it is. We got a couple career mode episodes coming up tomorrow morning. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night will be the next full race live stream at Pocono. So that is what the slate will look like for tomorrow. But yeah, definitely I'm going to be done doing any sort of videos at the end of this race. I got a couple that are trying to upload right now for the career mode as well, that will hopefully be out later tonight for you guys, but this is definitely the last stream of the day. Probably need to eat dinner, get some fluids in me after this one. Oh boy, a little contact as we go 3 wide for the lead with Michael McDowell. Heavy contact, slowing each other up as we're getting sandwiched in between everybody right now. Kyle Busch getting loose as well, and around goes the 18 behind us. That is going to bring out a caution. And a free pass for Jimmy Johnson after a crazy restart here in the Coke 600. Michael McDowell in the lead. What the heck happened there? We got sandwiched 3 wide in the middle between McDowell and, I want to say it was Keselowski up there. So Johnson will get the free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap. And then now Hamlin, Truex, and Almirola, who stayed out to take the wave around, hoping for a quick yellow, got the quick yellow. Luckily, we were able to save it there, but Kyle Busch was not, unfortunately for him. So here we go. McDowell will control the pace now on the restart this time. Green flag back in the air again. That was our 9th caution of the race with 80 to go as we restart with 77 laps left. Still about 15 to 20 laps short on fuel to the end of the race. So everybody will have to pit again. A lot of these faster cars in the top 5 now have a shot to get back into this. Johnson back on the lead lap now as well. Push from behind coming from Chase Elliott. Oh, and that gets us loose off of 4. A little contact now with William Byron. Michael McDowell leads the opening lap off the restart. He tries to hold on to the clean air as best as he can with William Byron, Byron's to the inside of us, but Brad Keselowski right on his rear bumper. Elliott giving us a big push down the backstretch. 196 miles an hour going into turn 3. And a 29.7 at last lap. Keselowski battling to try and get a lap back in 6th place right now with Michael McDowell. This car's stepping out on me here a little bit more. But McDowell slowly pulling away, almost a second ahead of us now. 74 laps to go. It doesn't show that we have much damage, but I mean, we're getting pretty loose, and we've made contact off the last 2 restarts now. We never really had a short run car in this race anyway, but we have led quite a few laps, and now Suarez gets to our inside. So we try to side draft him and keep him from passing us. Kyle Busch gives us a shove going off into turn 1. That could help us try to get by the 41. Another push coming from the 18 here. Big run coming down the backstretch now. He's going to try to follow us to get by Suarez. McDowell pulling away now. Still from us and as well from the 2 car. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch has had a fast car in this one. Again, he won stage 1 in this race. Not sure what position he's in right now, but he is multiple laps down in the 18 car. Currently in 13th. So he's probably, I would guess, 3 laps down, but he could be 2 laps down. We'll try to cross him over here, and as we battle with the 18 and the 41. Oh boy. A little contact now with Kyle Busch off the exit of the corner. He's definitely racing us hard. Probably because we got together off of turn 4, but we were sandwiched 3 wide though. It wasn't really our fault. Just a racing accident. And we accidentally took Kyle Busch for a ride, but luckily he didn't spin back in the traffic. He was spinning through the AstroTurf on the inside of the racetrack there. And big run to get by the 18. Now trying to clear the 2. Our teammate Keselowski. Can Michael McDowell get his first career win in the Coke 600 and clinch himself a playoff spot here tonight? It is definitely possible. Starting to close in on him here. A little after a little. Now about a second behind the 34. So Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. battling for the free pass position. Of course, once again, they're on fresh tires. They're 1 lap down right now. They both have arguably the second fastest car in the field between the 2 of them. One of them gets back on the lead lap. We could have a battle here as we close into the back of the 34 again off of turn 4. At the line, he leads the lap, but we're side by side for the lead in the late going to the Coke 600. Going into turn 1, Blaney out in front. McDowell might try a crossover move, but he cannot make it happen off of turn 2 as we try to pull him now. It'll be an official lead change when we get back to the start-finish line. Another lead for us in the race. "65 laps to go. Still just outside the pit window. And again, we've had 9 cautions in the race. 12 is the most so far in the season. And the longest race in elapsed time is 2 hours and 46 minutes at Atlanta, second race of the year. And currently, right now, we are closing in very shortly on that. We're only about 7 minutes away from making it the longest race currently on the year. We started this race at 3:52 Eastern Standard Time, so it has definitely been a long one, as expected. We still got a little over 60 to go. We should definitely hit the 3-hour mark. Johnson's still in third on the lead lap, and if a caution does come out and Jimmy does fall lap down again, he'll get the free pass and not Denny Hamlin or Martin Truex Jr. unless they can somehow catch Jimmy as well, which of course they do have fresher tires than the 48, but not by a lot. Maybe a lap or 2, and that's about it. So that's not going to make much of a difference for him out there. Tried to go for 4 wins in a row. I knew it was going to be a tough one because of the endurance factor of this race, but we've kept our focus from the very beginning. Oh, well, a little... As I say that, we make a little contact with BJ McLeod through 3 and 4. $60 to go now. Pit window is open to the end of the race. We're going to try and run this out as long as we possibly can. It's going to be our strategy. We are battling in the midst of all the lap traffic right now currently. Ooh. Moving in a little too deep again there. I guess you'd do that at times over the course of a 600-mile race. We're well over 500 miles into this one now. Once we hit 75 to go. And Johnson's probably in danger of going a lap down here. Probably within the next 5 to 10 laps. So if we don't get a caution then, could be in trouble here. We have had some pretty crazy finishes as of late, including the Talladega race, of course. As usual, that brings out a lot of drama in the late going. So we made a pass for the win, coming to the white flag. And then in Dover, we were able to make a pass for the win in the final lap of that race as well, within the final 5 laps on Kyle Busch. Kansas, it was a pretty good race pretty much throughout the entire race. Kind of a lackluster last 25 to 30 laps. We had fresher tires on the last caution. Got a yellow, we were the only ones to pit on the lead lap. But I can guarantee if we get a late caution here in this one, everybody on the lead lap is going to pit, even if it is just me and Michael McDowell, because we all still have to pit before the end of the race. Oh boy. Thought David Reagan was going to pull in front of us there. And we have caught Jimmy Johnson, who is in third. Oh, a little bounce off the wall up at turn 2 there. So we'll, Johnson luck out with a caution this time. He was unlucky the last time we were in this predicament, as we did have a car blowing up there. So we're going to clear Johnson at the line. 52 to go. I couldn't tell who was blowing up. It almost looked like it was Joey Logano, but he made it onto pit road. So we stay green. We are almost halfway through the final stage. Got about a half track lead on Michael. Oh boy, really tight all of a sudden through turns 3 and 4. A little brush off the wall. Still looking all right. So yeah, we're about 20 laps short on fuel to the end of the race. little bounce off the wall through 3 and 4. Really got to be careful here in this one. Yeah, it seems like it might be an engine issue for Logano. Assuming that was Joey. Somebody, whoever's on pit road, because of that issue. I don't think it was a tire. So it would probably be back on the racetrack. If that was the case. Oof, man, got really loose there. Drove it in deep. We have caught Martin Truex Jr. Who's currently 1 lap down in 5th. So he's about to go 2 laps down now. And this late in the race, that will likely end any sort of a shot he's got of winning as of right now. And I'm sure Hamlin's not too much further ahead, although I don't see him within the vicinity right now, but I'm definitely assuming he could be there. So this is now the longest race of the season here by about 5 minutes at this point so far as the lapse time goes, and we're very close to 3 hours here. We hit the 3-hour mark in 6 minutes. Ooh, into the back of Ty Dillon there. Both kind of chose the outside. I was hoping he was going to go to the bottom. That wasn't the case. Still get on by though. We do have a big lead on second place Michael McDowell. He's 22.5 seconds back. And I see Denny Hamlin just coming off of turn 2 now. And now here we come off of turn 2. Driving it way down to the inside to get by Paul Menard off the exit of the corner. William Byron having a solid run in 7th right now. Oh boy, we got really tight all of a sudden off of turn number 4. Had to check way out of the gas. Lap traffic kind of costing us a little bit of time as well here. Michael McDowell's got a lot more open room and clean air in front of him than what we do right now as well. Despite the fact he's 24 seconds off the lead. Not sure exactly where Jimmy Johnson's at, but again, Denny Hamlin not too far ahead of us, and he's got a decent amount of slower cars right in front of him as well. But we'll probably catch him here in no time. Oh boy. 3 wide down the front stretch. Hamlin's 2 laps down now. 43 laps to go. So Jimmy's still 1 lap down. So if the caution comes out, he'll get the free pass, and McDowell's still in the lead lap in 2nd. So if the caution comes out, we'll restart in the lead. McDowell has led laps in this race multiple times. Towards the end of stage 1, but he was passed with less than 10 to go by Kyle Busch. And he is stuck around to the very end here, hoping for one more caution at some point in time to get back into this thing. There's only a couple seconds ahead of us, so he's probably going to need that caution pretty quick here. If he goes a lap down, Johnson will no longer be in the free pass position. McDowell will be. And Jimmy will have to refute to probably taking the wave around to get back on the lead lap. Unless the caution comes out in the next couple laps here before McDowell goes the lap down. Doing a great job so far, though. Really have. 40 laps to go in the Coca-Cola 600. Going all the way to the outside here. It's going to get pretty tight there. Now cutting down in front of the 34 of McDowell to get underneath the 47. Clearing everybody before we get into turn 3. So Michael McDowell is now currently a lap down. We're still a little less than 20 laps away from hitting pit road. Got a full lap lead. Pretty clean race for the most part for us, so a couple sketchy moments as almost usual over the course of these long races, but really any full-length race for that matter. But we're doing a good job. 37 to go, getting close to the end. Again, we still have one more pit stop coming our way at some point in time. I wonder how many laps we're going to lead by the end of this race. Easily over 200. I have a very good feeling we're going to lead over 200 laps in this race if we haven't already. $36 to go. It's going to be close to being the longest race I've ever done here on NASCAR Heat 4. We have just hit the 3-hour mark in this race. It is 6:52 Eastern Standard Time. I started the race at 3:52. Well, we're getting there. We're almost at the end of it. Oh, a little contact with Ryan Newman. Going into turn 1. Still just trying to keep the car clean, of course. The outside now through turns 1 and 2. Still trying to take care of the car here. Haven't ran the outside nearly as much as I probably would have liked. We're doing alright to this point. Running the bottom. Keeping the car clean, and we're out in front still. No need to run the top until that final run of the final fuel and tire run of the race. We're getting pretty close, but not quite there yet. A little over a lap and a quarter lead on Michael McDowell. So I see Jimmy Johnson up ahead here. He's about halfway down the backstretch as we're coming off of turn 2. So he's only about a second to a second and a half ahead of us. And once he's passed, he will go 2 laps down. So if he gets the free pass because of a caution, he will only be 1 lap down. So he's going to need a caution quick. Well, it won't matter anyway. Yeah, he would have to take the wave around at this point. Ooh, got in the back of the 52 there of Cody Ware, but we're good. We'll have 30 laps to go at the start-finish line this time. Woo! That was tight, trying to get around Eric Jones there. Got around him in kind of a hurry. Johnson looked to pull the block, but he can't get down in time. So Jimmy Johnson with 30 laps to go, now 2 laps down in third. Best possible chance is McDowell saved enough fuel in his race car compared to us. Now we have to pit before him. He gets his lap back and then a caution comes out and he can hit pit road. That is the most realistic shot of him winning the race, because that would be the quickest way he can get back on the lead lap. Just got in the wall off of turn 2 there. That was close, but did a good job keeping it off the wall. Longest green flag run of the race so far is 72 laps. We went green with 78 to go. Or sorry, 77 to go on this run. So we're at exactly 50 laps into this green flag run. Well, pit stop's coming up here real soon. Another 5 to 10 laps. Right front tire getting pretty worn out now on the right side as well. Probably burnt the tire up as much as any other time during the course of this race, but it's late in the race though. We gotta race hard. That is what we are doing. Truex going to go another lap down now, so he's now 3 laps down in 5th. Even Brad Keselowski in 6th place is about to go 4 laps down. It's the next closest teammate to us, and Logano, of course, blew an engine back in stage 3. And we'll finish 39th. So that's how our teammates are running currently. Even if McDowell has saved enough fuel to try and make it a couple laps longer to hope for that caution, he's probably going to have to start getting on the gas here pretty soon, because it's going to be almost 2 laps down by the time I would hit pit road if I do pit before him. And he's probably not in a good situation on points, so he might have to win. And although we still have Daytona left to run, another kind of like a wild card race, got 2 2 road course races, and he's pretty okay at road courses for the most part too. But this might be his best shot to win a race this year. You never know. So nobody has tried to pit yet. McDowell was stuck 3 wide on the outside of the track there. We're catching up to Denny Hamlin as well. Hamlin in 4th, of course. We are very close now to hitting pit road. A monstrous lead. Coming off of turn 2 now. McDowell 2 laps down. He was caught behind Corey LaJoie there. We'll try to stay out 1 more lap. So we'll hit pit road this next time by. We'll have 20 laps to go when I come up off of pit road. What a race we have run so far. Tucked in behind Boyer, and onto pit road we come. Just got to make sure we don't speed. That was close, but we did get it down in time. So onto pit road we go. Can McDowell get back on the lead lap here? Assuming he didn't pit that time. I don't think he did. We'll just have to see. So 4-tire stop coming our way on pit road. 20 laps to go in the Coke 600. Just dominating the end of this race to this point. And here we go, back up onto the racetrack we go. Johnson is overtaken second. McDowell's on pit road. We'll check the leaderboard real quick. And yeah, I think McDowell pitted the same time we did. And you can see him up on the access road behind us on the apron. So he is still currently 2 laps down. Johnson's on pit road. He's about to go 2 laps down when we cycle through past him. So all these guys that are currently in second now, Denny Hamlin's in second. And he's still on the track. He can run a couple laps longer than everybody else. 19 to go. If he can get that quick caution, he's got a shot. And even Michael McDowell still has a shot. He's right behind us. He's better on the shorter runs. McDowell's going to try to race us and race us hard. If he can get back to 1 lap down and we cycle through, caution comes out. He's back on the lead lap here. Be pretty amazing to run the final 78 laps though green to the end of the race. Truex has just hit pit road, and so is Denny Hamlin. So we've got 2 laps on the field still, with 18 to go in the race, but Michael McDowell right behind us now looking to the inside. We were not able to block him off there, but here comes some of the lap cars up in front of us. McDowell was being held up there. And he'll have to try and run us back down again. McDowell seemingly got second place locked up here in this one if we stay green, but you would think he would want a shot to win, especially in a crown jewel event. Just past 7 o'clock now. I think I started this race in the 3 o'clock hour mark. 3:52 was the start time of this one, so we've got a chance. The longest race I've ever done was when I did the Coke 600 on the last season, when I ran without stages for every race in the season. And during that season, that race went 3 hours and 16 minutes. So that's the longest race I've ever ran on this game. We're cutting close to that, up over the 300-hour mark now. In fact, we're about 3 hours and 10 minutes in. We got 15 to go. So if we don't get these last 15 laps in about the next 6 minutes or so, which is going to look kind of tough, we're not going to get there. We've had 9 cautions in this race that have slowed the pace down a little bit. Plus, of course, you have that extra stage, so 3 stage breaks as well. Nine cautions per incident, then the 3 stage breaks. So 12 stoppages for the most part here. A lackluster finish once we took the lead with 60 laps to go. We have dominated the final 60 laps of this race. We have led the most laps by far. Kyle Busch won stage 1. We finished in 7th. We had a late caution in that stage that did not pan out our way. We won stage 2. We won stage 3. But now we're looking good here in this one as well. Just hoping we get to the white flag without a caution. Again, because McDowell's 2 laps down, he's going to need a couple cautions to get back into this, but even still though, what a race on our behalf. $12 to go. Oh, big slide there through 1 and 2. Almost got into the 4 of Harvick. We tried to get the pass on him, and he stays in front of us for the time being. Ten to go here at Charlotte. Heavy lap traffic now as we're 3 wide going into turn 3. Continuing to make some passes. Nine to go. Just feel discomfort of sitting in this chair for so long. Arms on the steering wheel for over 3 hours just trying to keep it going. I mean, I've driven long periods of time, obviously, with traveling to different NASCAR tracks and stuff, but this is unique, though. I mean, you know, I'm constantly turning the wheel to keep a car straight. I know it's virtual, but still. Luckily, we really haven't gotten out of shape that much, if at all, here over the course of this race. Just had a really good showing so far here in this one. We're getting late enough in the race. We'll run the outside here for the finish to try and get to the white flag as quick as possible. Hopefully we don't go to overtime and extend this race any longer than what we have to. Hopefully we just stay green here to the finish. 2-lap victory. And Michael McDowell, assuming Johnson doesn't catch him for second, Michael McDowell with a runner-up finish after finishing runner-up in 2 stages as well today. Very good car. Qualified in the top 10 also. See that in the Coke 600 here from time to time. Usually it's on fuel mileage races, though. This one is not a fuel mileage race, but now we get a caution. With 6 laps to go, we get another caution. Well, it's not going to be overtime, but it is our 10th caution for incident in this race. And that will extend the race a little bit longer. But when we go green, we should only have 3 laps to go. McDowell will get one of his laps back. He'll be 1 lap down, so he's going to have to hope for a couple overtimes to have a shot to win this still. We'll have 3 laps to go when we go green. Hopefully we get to the white flag unscathed here. The green flag is back in the air. Trying to time this final restart out as perfect as we can. Johnson trying to hold strong. Maybe he can get one of his laps back. Hope for a couple quick yellows as well. We get another caution though. McDowell will be back on the lead lap again. Hamlin propels past Johnson right behind us, but he's an extra lap down compared to Jimmy. So here we go, 2 laps to go at the line. Looks like we're going to run the full length of this race. Here we go, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go in the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 10 cautions, 3 stage breaks. 10 cautions were all for incident. 3 drivers are not going to finish this race today. And we're going to win by 1 lap over Michael McDowell, who is going to finish in second. Off of turn 4, Blaney won 2 stages, finished 7th in stage 1. Kyle Busch got that stage win, but Ryan Blaney wins the Coke 600 at Charlotte. And an endurance race for the ages. Man. Well, we deserved that one. We led the most laps by far. And it was a long one, but we got the job done. All right. Look at that, 199 minutes there. Longest race I have ever done on NASCAR Heat 4. 3 hours and 19 minutes. Man, I need to stand up. Oh, jeez. It's a long time sitting down. So we obviously expand the points lead here. We're getting quite a few wins. That's our 10th win of the season. So that's amazing of itself here. Just kind of walking away with the regular season points lead here. Just in case we have a couple more DNFs along the course of the season. There we are at Victory Lane. There's Ryan Blaney. And winner of the Coca-Cola 600. 29.371 was the fastest lap ran today. That was ran by Martin Truex Jr. We led 295 of the 400 laps in this race. So over 450 miles we led in this race. Started from the rear of the field in 39th. Won the race. Logano, the pole sitter, ran up front early, but could not hold strong. He DNF'd in the 3rd stage of this race. That is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and as always, hit the subscribe button down below for more daily NASCAR content, such as streams and videos like this with a full race with live commentary. Hit the like button if you did enjoy, of course, the race, the commentary, the video in general. I'll see you guys in the next one. Pocono, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time will be the next full race coverage. A couple career mode episodes coming your way tomorrow morning as well. And hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for the support as always, and I'll catch you later.